Alright, starting in 1 minute. Wow, my voice is loud. Sorry. Turn that down a little bit. Testing the levels. Just talking to test. I think that looks alright. I hope it's alright. You know what? My clock hasn't struck 10:40, but let's just get started. Oh, look at that. It has now. Alright, so I hope my audio isn't garbage. Because it's very dim in my headphones and it sounds crackly. I have no clue why. I still have to sit and play around with my audio. Sauce, hello. Alright, so I'm just gonna do this shot at a very leisurely pace. Sound is fine? That is a relief. So I'm just gonna do the shot at a very leisurely pace. This is a shot that was given to me by somebody on my Discord server. And he has been bouncing back and forth between tracking software packages. I think his last attempt was in PF Track. I think he also attempted in 3D Equalizer. And either has or is going to make an attempt with Synthesize. So yeah, let's just give this a quick try. This is not a true nodal shot. True nodal shots are kind of hard to come by. There's a lot of clients who will give you like a tripod shot and say, why is there animation on your camera? This is a nodal. This is a tripod. The camera should be sitting still. It should only be rotating. Most people don't shoot with a pano head. They put the camera onto a tripod, and then when they rotate it, the tip of the lens actually travels around. It's technically a free move, so most of the time getting tripod soft is pretty much impossible. Hello Wig20, good to see you again. So being that kind of stuff is impossible, I don't solve most what would look like a nodal shot. I don't solve most of them as a tripod. So, I should have kept this playing. Oops. So this shot, let's see. It's going to be a very fast track. We're not going to track a lot on this. I say that every stream, but we're not going to track a lot on this. It's like 400 frames, so it might be long, but it shouldn't be. I suspect I'll be done in a very short amount of time. And then I'll show you how I manage a camera with such a subtle movement like this, because it's not really going to calculate any proper depth to its trackers. Most software won't really be able to figure out a proper depth to the points. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to get started and knock these points out really fast. I tried the track one, it went pretty smooth. So the rest of these should go at a pretty quick pace. And I'm going to track these sloppy. I don't want to spend most of my night doing this. I just had some free time, was a little bit bored. Oh my god, look at that slippage. Cool. Either way. Alright. Obvious slippage there. Leaving it. King of my own castle. The kingdom of my own castle. That was lame. That was very lame. Oh, it's so hot in here. Didn't have my AC on. Just turned it on a couple minutes ago. And now I am dying of heat because I also cooked myself food and now it is hot. I left the music, I'm leaving the music too high. Let's turn that down. Okay. Cool. Another dirty, sloppy point. Oh, that is so overly sloppy. You know what? Let's go over here to, let's unlock it. Tracking direction forward. We're gonna go offset E, and we're going to place a key right here. I'm just gonna nudge it back and forth. Made a key. Bring it back. Not a massive fix, just a very, very general fix. I don't remember if it was noted on Discord, but I'm actually curious if this was on a tripod or just handheld. There's definitely free move, but not sure if it was a very, very steady hand or a tripod with the wrong head. Why am I not nudging? Oh, I'm not nudging because I got E on. If you're offsetting in newer versions of Synthize and you click E, this edit button, edit offset, my ear's itchy. If you have that E button, you're not going to be able to nudge. So I'm going to turn that off and go back because I thought I was nudging this whole time. So ideally, with a shot like this, and also any kind of shot really, you're going to want to make sure you get some foreground, background, midground points. So I'm going to put some points in the background over here. Need something to kind of anchor where my camera's going to sit. And how do we anchor it? Well, we get points at all different depths, and it's going to tell the camera to sit still. Well, now, what do you think about those points that are really far away when it's shot where you need to project points? What do I think about the... Oh, wait. What do you think about those points that are really far away when it's a shot where you need to project points? Oh, I'll show you. I thought of that. Just letting you know I thought of that. I guess I could just tell you right now. I'm gonna spoil the surprise. When I scale this, I'm like, hey look, this is like, shows me how big a human is here. And I'm going to take a human, slide him right back until he hits the scale of one of these doorways, and that's how I'm gonna get the depth of those buildings, and I'm gonna project them, son. That is right, Walnut. You are my long lost child, apparently. Sorry you had to hear it over a stream rather than an uncomfortable phone call. Why is the phone call uncomfortable? Because I somehow found your phone number. Walnut Kingdom. Look at that free move. You can see that parallax. This is also a very auto-trackable shot. I just don't want to go there. I don't like autos. I'm not good at it because I don't use it. Because I don't like it. Let's go back. Whoa, going too fast. There we go. This is a very emotional moment. Yo, how's it going, Mark? Hello? I can't remember, but I think it's been some time since I've seen you in chat. Good to see you. I'm doing pretty well. Found out my long lost son is in the chat. Goes by the name of a nut. Okay, so let's go fill out the end of the shot here, and then I'll fill out the beginning, and we'll probably just start looking at solving. Get it out of the way. This is going to be a very fast stream. There's not a whole lot going on here. You know, because this is going to be very short, I might actually just throw this in Blender and try to build it out. Watched a Ducky 3D tutorial. Saw him use metaballs and a volume emitter to like make a really cool kind of a lava lamp effect. Had a lot of fun messing with that today during my lunch break. Actually, yesterday during my lunch break, sorry. All right, let's go toss some stuff over here. Ew. Disgusting. Carter, surprise. Late stream, Carter. Good to see you. And your many hands. Carter. Wait, Carter. Are you the one who I, on Discord, called... What did I call? Carter, what did I... There was a name on there. Cinnamon. Oh, Cinnamon Toast Carter. Hello. That profile picture got me, man. And then when I thought of Cinnamon Toast Carter, I got myself more than I should have. It's really kind of a sad moment watching somebody laughing at their own joke by themselves. But there I was, being a loser. Fast. Gone. And let's see what's over here. Get this. Also, sorry if my keyboard is being picked up in the mic. I gotta figure out some mic settings. What I need is a freaking stand. What do you call it? Boom pole? I don't know. I need a stand, clip on my desk, put the mic in front of my face so I can turn the sensitivity a little bit lower. Get rid of the keyboard clicks. Walnut, I think we do that from time to time. Yeah, that's a good point. Carter, how do you think I feel laughing at my own profile picture every time I log into Discord? That's a pretty great profile picture. Feels like the kind of thing I should have seen before. Oh, I don't like these points. Oh, here we go. This is good. This is good. If you are tracking points as sloppy as I am right now, please track a lot of points in the same areas. They will average each other out, and it will account for human error in the trackers. Again, though, typically in a studio environment, I would not track this fast. Again, this is just me doing this for fun, doing it quickly. Don't be present me. Be past me and future me. Because past me was at work and future me will be at work. Present Cal sitting at home is not a good person to admire in the tracking realm. Eh. Reverse. Done. All right, let's see what else is there. That's a lot of foreground. We can get this wall. This wall is pretty important. Let's get this wall. Dan, hello. I don't recall seeing you before, Dan. Good to see you. Hope you like tracking. Because that's all I do. All I do is track. Sounds like it could be a rap song. D. Craig, if you ever watched this video back, you should clean your lens, man. Got that little speck there? Not gonna act like I didn't see that. I say that. I am notorious with getting dust into my lenses. I don't treat my camera gear very well. To me, if you treat a camera too carefully, you're gonna miss all the cool shots. Okay, so I'm just looking for a couple points. Oh my goodness. I'm just looking for a couple points on some environment pieces that I'm going to model up as I go and project onto. We're almost done tracking. Tracking is going to be done very, very soon. Dan will do that. Okay, we got that. Let's get a couple more points in the background. Let's see, what's the longest point that we can muster? There's this thing here, but yeah, you know what? Let's do it. I didn't want to track this one because it doesn't offer a lot of data. Also, I gotta look for a place that has like a door, something that I can recognize the scale of a human for. Like this looks like a balcony, but what a weird balcony that would be, right? Like some little person walks out of the door, tip of their forehead sticks out over the edge. Doesn't seem right. Unless, oh, you know what? I could see it connect here. This is like a little walkway out here. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Let's see. I don't want to track that. Where's the door? I think that's a door, but I don't see like a balcony where people will be walking. So I don't trust it. Let's get over here. Oh, too fast. Too track, too furious. That didn't really roll off the tongue as well as I thought it would when I said it. Kind of regret saying it now. Dan, are you VR off version, latest one using? Dan, are you Craig? Are you Discord Craig? VR. What's VR? What's that stand for? Somebody said it, something to do with stabilization, but what does VR actually stand for? Because I know vibration reduction. I've never heard it referred to as vibration reduction. I've heard of like IBIS, yeah, I don't know, IS on the lens bodies, IBIS within the body of like the 5D, or sorry, R5. Yeah, I never heard VR yet. Am I using the VR version, latest one? I used the one, what did I use? I used the link that was on Discord. And this was the only file that was there. Okay, so we got background points there. Walnut, pretty sure VR is just in lenses. Just in lenses? Is it different from IS? Let's see, 1, 2... I should get a couple more on this wall because there's not going to be any points here at all. There's not going to be any points around, so I'm going to track a couple more here just to help keep this stable because these trackers are also janky, and what you want is many janky trackers so that they average out. Realistically though, don't make your trackers janky. Take your time on them. Pretty sure VR is just in lenses, Walnut, which I think is the difference. I don't know, because I've seen a lot of my EF lens, or my friends' EF lenses, they all say IS on them, image stabilization. And I know there's USM, ultrasonic motor or something, but there's constantly IS. But yeah, I've just never heard it called VR. Oh, I mean difference between IBIS and VR. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. No, absolutely. Dan, yes, you're just wondering why I'm getting the error above 15 pixels even though my tracks are solid. Nice. You know what's funny? I did a track today where for some reason I was tracking a phone at work, and the phone points look fine, no error on the points themselves, but my solve error gave me an error of 24 HPIX, and no clue why. Okay, there's drift in this one. That's kind of a significant bit of drift. Let's fix that real quick. I'm gonna go over here, unlock, reverse direction, and offset E. So I'm gonna drag this over here, go ahead, drag it here, go ahead, drag it here. Whoa, what is happening? Why am I doing this? I'm actually just gonna fix it. I'm actually just gonna track it properly. Oh, I'm not nudging. I'm not nudging because E is on. I keep forgetting that. So let me blast out these keyframes that I left at the bottom there. All right, going ahead. Close. And oh, I didn't mean to bring it back one more frame. Whatever. All right, is that at least better? Yeah, it's better. That's all right. That's all right. That's better. And let's get one over here. Try to fill out the bottom corner as best I can. All right, so there's a little bit of, I'm gonna call this mid-ground. There's a little bit of foreground, and the camera path is gonna be locked to be pretty steady. So we're not gonna really we're not gonna have like any crazy jitter even with this lack of points. So don't yell at me. I should fill out the bottom of this here. Just put 1 point on the corner because I'll likely want to project that for some reason. Okay, so, oh, did any while people are here, I'm actually curious. Did anybody see my clone thing? This is one of the streams I want to do. Where'd my clone thing go? I was pretty happy I found it. I want to show it while I can. Oh my goodness, there's so much scrolling. Found it. It's here. I've talked about this for a long time. Walnut, that was cool. I'm really excited to see how to do that. Nice. So this is we had a request for a studio called Crafty Apes at the time. Now they're Chris Van Dyke at the time, and now it's Crafty Apes. We had to do a shot for them on some. There was a guy, they wanted to reposition a guy on a frozen lake, so they asked us if we can figure out how to repo a guy. The guy knew the method already, but we just haven't done it personally ourselves yet. So I had an idea how I wanted to do it. Talked to him, and we were on the same page, so I went and did this test, so that I sent this back to them. So this is a freemove camera, no motion control rig, which is what your first thought would be if you're doing a clone. So tracked one camera, and then I tracked the other, constrained all the same tracker points to the ones from the main shot so that they were in the same world space. And of course that means when you look at this guy's feet, I didn't perfectly roto everything so you could see some ghosting, but the feet, the carpet and stuff, that all matches pretty well because there's a projection plane when he walks. It's following his position between his feet as he walks. And you just project on that, roto the footage, and you're done. And you get a really cool clone effect for free. Yeah, so this is something I want to stream shortly, and I gotta try. I gotta try a couple more things in Fusion, but I want to actually just go and do this in Fusion as well and just stream that part of it too. But I'll probably screw it up and embarrass myself. But I don't know, I just wanted to show that off because I think it's cool. I'm excited for it. Wasn't sure if many people actually clicked that on Discord. Okay, so I think I'm done with most of the points. I'm just going to put one more background point over here and let's solve it. See how it works with this amount of points. And if we need more, well, hey, we'll get to see it error out and see why I need more points. But I'm pretty sure I'm done. Oh, you know what? I see one more spot that we should put a point really quick. This wall here is very barren. Let's put it right here. Walnut. Oh, Dan, I'm excited about the clone stream. Thank you, Dan. I think it'll be fun. I think it's really cool. Cloning is such, you know, if you're starting in VFX, it's cloning and lightsabers. That's the coolest thing in the world. Cloning just never gets old to me, so I'm kind of excited anytime I get to do it. I shot new footage with that same guy, last week, so I have footage lined up for it. I was just trying to get footage lined up for rotomation body stuff, and yeah, so I have footage stacked up now. I had to shoot a couple more clips yesterday, which I did, because yesterday, at the time when I wanted to stream, I didn't have my footage like shot and ready to go. I had some of it shot, but yeah, I had to get some more pieces ready. So I should be able to do some more consistent streams here within the next couple of weeks, and they are going to be very packed with information. Okay, I'm ready to solve. I'm ready to solve now. Wait a minute. One more very empty space. I gotta stop. I'm like Apple doing one more thing. Okay. Okay, we're done now. That was just a big empty area over there. Alright, cool. Before I solve, let me just see what was here. The video was sideways for me when I downloaded it. I don't know why. It's because you were laying down on your side, using your computer. I'm sorry, that was a dumb response. Walnut, those were literally the first two things I did. Oh, same here, man, same here. First thing I ever did, when I first figured out what chroma keying was years ago, I got so excited. I used Magic's Movie Edit Pro, which is a very cheap software. I saw it in a Costco one day, got it because it showed me how to put movies onto my PSP, and I was like, whoa, that's amazing. I just want that. Got it, never touched it, didn't know it was a video editor. A year later, picked it back up, did all this visual effects stuff, and got excited about it. But I didn't look up tutorials, I just dragged and dropped things. And one of them said chroma key. It made my footage look weird, didn't know what it was. Now I know, it got rid of the green. So when I figured out how to clone using that, figured out that, oh, that's how green screen works. All I could do was clones. Just non-stop clones, that's all I did. That and lightsabers. And the Dragon Ball Z Kame, what do you call it? Spirit Bomb? I don't know. I don't know Dragon Ball Z. Walnut, should you track that thing on the left wall so there's detail there, or does it not matter? I was actually thinking about, I'm pretty sure you're talking about this, aren't you? I was thinking about that too, but I kind of embarrassed myself saying one more thing. Because I keep doing that. I keep saying one more thing. I hate having people just sit here watching me track points. Yeah. Yeah, that. Okay, so let's get this solving then. Let's go. So, first thing, oh, you know what? This is a good time to explain to somebody something. Dan, does false corner matter in this kind of shot? It does not have parallax. Does false corner matter in this kind of shot? What's a false corner? Oh, wait. Okay, when you say false corner, what I immediately think of is something like this. because this is a fake corner. This is the intersection between this wall and this building. So that is a fake corner to me. Intersecting lines? Oh, Walnut wrote that. Yeah, like, I assume Dan is talking about intersecting lines here. Like this is fake. This is bad. If you can help it, sometimes you can. Sometimes you can track this, but if you can help it, don't do this. This is a bad tracker. Dan, right. Oh, awesome. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, don't track those. If your camera was a perfect nodal. Oh, by the way, Dan, I don't know if you jumped in early enough on the stream when I was saying this, but even at work in Track VFX, I don't solve a lot of tripod shots as nodal shots because most people on set don't actually shoot with a pano head. Because for a true nodal shot, for you to use like tripod modes in any of your software, your camera needs to have its lens centered on a nodal head, so the lens itself sits on the same spot as it pivots. Normally, people put their lens and their camera on a tripod, and then they pivot it around, so the lens is actually moving through space. It's a free move, and that is what we have within your shot, right? So we have a free. I don't know if this is handheld or a tripod, but this is a free move. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So if you had a perfect nodal shot where the lens was centered on a nodal head, you could track any corner you want. You can track false corners all day. No one will stop you. I won't even stop you. Dan, this is a free move. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's like, it's not enough of a movement for free move. So right now, if I hit solve, let's just see what happens. I want to go through something. So if I turn on some lens distortions, first I'm going to start just with quadratic. And we're going to go. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm going to assume this isn't exactly correct. Maybe if I put more points, SynthEyes will calculate even more accurate and actually form the structures, and honestly, it probably would. But if I hit F4, let's see how accurate things are. It's got the shape. Let's go color some points. Here. This. Oh yeah, these are all on the wall. Yeah, cool. I should have put one up in this corner. I might do that. Let's color these ones yellow. And we'll color all of these ones. Give me a magenta. Okay. There's pretty good, but now what's the magenta doing? Oh, you can already see they're messed up. You can already see that there's no way that they can form a corner. So this is bad. So that's what I'm getting at, and all software will do this. With a light free move like this, no software can really get a proper structure. I tracked a shot with very little parallax the other day with a bunch of uneven rocky surfaces. By just doing over 300 trackers, it was surprisingly accurate. Yeah, absolutely. Because the more trackers that you have, the more that they're gonna keep working off of one of each other. Oh my god, they're gonna keep working off one another. That's why I always tell people, if you track something like let's say this, make sure it has a buddy nearby. Like, put another point real close by, because they will work off of each other and get a better depth. Because this empty space, like all this area that I didn't track, there's nothing there to help stitch every point. Every little bit of parallax in these buildings is very slightly noticeable to SynthEyes, and it's gonna keep rippling back to your trackers, and it's gonna keep finding the depth better for each point. So yeah, track a lot of points if you can. You can utilize autos to great effect in a shot like this. So yeah, Dan, in PF Track, I was restricting the translation to no move, keeping the rotation only. Is that a problem? Yep, that is a problem. Because this shot's a free move, you cannot possibly get your foreground and your background to work together if you lock the camera movement. Because, yeah, like you said, this is a free move. Here you could see the amount of movement between these different buildings. So there's no way to lock your movement. Okay, so here so here's what I was gonna talk about. Before I orient the scene, build the geo out and project, I just wanna say, this is where I wanna calculate distortion. But distortion is dependent on how good the solve of your scene is. If your points land in a bad spot and SynthEyes tricks itself into saying, hey, this is a low error. Hey, the distortion, it did the iterations it wanted to do, but it was close enough at this one part. Well, it was close enough to make these points look okay, but we know that these points are wrong. Because these points are wrong, your distortion is wrong. So here's how I'm gonna get for me, the best distortion I can out of the shot. I'm actually going to bombard a few points over here, and you'll see what I do in a moment. I'm not gonna put too many more. Also, we could do it over here. You just want to find the furthest possible things in your scene for this. Ah, get out of here. No, stop. Oh, there's a key there. Calvin, you fool. Unsubscribe. Wait, did I leave an error in there? Nah, we're good. Okay. So I'm going to take a lot of foreground points. Okay, so I got a lot of foreground points. So these are the oh, I'm missing one. These are the points where, you know, you have your foreground and the noticeable parallax between the background. We want to get rid of that parallax. We want to take the farthest possible thing because that is as close to a nodal as we can get. The reason why I want to make this kind of a nodal, I'm going to take the weighting, turn these all down to 1 for now. And we're going to go to tripod mode, and I'm just going to hit go. So now what I did is, you could see that there's error in these foreground points. Actually, let's turn on radars. So yeah, you can see the foreground points erroring out. All the influence is on the background. That is as nodal as we can get because the camera is moving, but on the scope of this city or this town or whatever, those buildings are far enough away that the parallax is not much of an issue. So what I'm doing is I'm using the best way to calculate any distortion is with nodal shots, and that's what I did. And let's also turn on Quartic. So I'm gonna hit F3, L. So here's our distortion. That is more trustworthy than the free move. And I'm going to, oh, I already turned on Quartic, hit go. And Quartic did not, oh, it did make a little bit of a difference. You could see some of that pin cushion kind of slightly going on. It's very, very subtle. Here we go. If you want, you could check off a couple more of these, see what you can get, but I'm not going to worry about too many parameters. Okay, let's see. Carter. Cinnamon Toast Carter. Track the bird. Utterly useless for the solve, but it'd be a fun waste of 20 seconds. Where's the bird? There's a bird in here? Did you just make me look for a bird? Oh my goodness. That will benefit me greatly. I'm gonna zero weight that. Oh, that's gonna make a big radar. I don't want that. Maybe keep to yourself next time, Carter. Salos, could the bird be named Lassette? Lassetti or Lassette? I don't get it. Is that a clever name or just like a normal, nice, sweet name? Okay, and Dan, sensor size and focal length, are they useful info for the shot? For this shot, if you're working on in a production environment, in a studio environment, you need focal length, or sorry, you need film back, specifically film back. That is the most important. If you can get focal length, like that is obvious, that is pretty much just as important, but not as important as your film back. Because with different sensor sizes, you're going to get different focal lengths with different lenses and whatever, and crop factors, stuff that I'm not super amazing at because it's done for me at Track VFX. Basically, you need that to keep consistent. If you shoot at different resolutions and different crops and whatever, and sometimes some productions, they shoot with different cameras I've had, you need to know that information so that your 50mm on one shot is the same as a 50mm or is the same on the other shot. You need it to be consistent. You can't have multiple shots in sequences all come out with slightly different lenses because it's going to affect the depth of a background or matte painting or a CG environment, or it's going to compress the character's face. Like, you know, when you take a portrait shot at 50mm compared to a super wide shot and your face looks kind of distorted, different lenses will do that stuff. So yes, you need that stuff. For a shot like this, no, you don't need it at all. For one-off shots for yourself, it's not a big concern. Not at all. It doesn't change anything for you quality-wise down the road. And even if you enter in that correct data, the distortions, technically your focal length is technically not accurate if you take it off the little tick off your lens, because there are lens factory imperfections and stuff that actually change that stuff. When you undistort your footage, your focal length has actually changed because of your expanding picture. And your film back has actually changed now too. Like right now, what's the default film back? The default film back is 0.93. If I went and hit apply, lens workflow, redistorted to, so here's our new lens, and our focal length, I don't remember what it was, but that should have changed too. If I look at shot, edit shot, our resolution is now higher. So it looks like it was 1920 by 1080. I actually didn't check. So this resolution is higher. And right now, the backplate looks the same. I promise you, when you export your camera, this will not be your backplate. Your film back, this will have increased with the size of your resolution. And your focal length will be slightly different too. That is actually an accurate thing that you should just let happen. And that new resolution, that is what you should be rendering at out of your software, because that rendering, that resolution is this. This plate has changed scale. That new resolution is giving you a quality for your render so that when you redistort your footage on this plate and it expands out, you don't lose quality. Yeah, film backs, important. For a shot like this, not really. That was a bit long of an answer. Sorry, I don't know if that derailed a bit. Let me go undo earlier run, get rid of this distortion, and okay, so let me continue this. Carter, that's a super useful trick for distortion. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Dan, wow, thanks for the great in-depth info. Was that helpful? I've never tried to explain that. I don't think I've explained that thing on stream before. So if it could have been explained better, let me know. Yeah. My synthesizer's dying. Okay, let me save that. And it's gonna have to cache because I did that distortion. So let's just let it gun through real quick while I get a drink of water. Oh, Saus, it's just a normal name for a normal bird. A normal name for a normal bird. Are there normal bird names? Like, you know, you got dogs. Dogs you don't typically name human names. You get like Snowball, Rex, Buddy. I don't know. Winston's kind of a human name. Cats? What do you got for cats? I don't think I know cat names. It's like, I don't know, Snowball. But normal bird names. I don't know what a bird name would be. Flying, I don't know, flap flap, calling it flap flap. Flap flap jack. No, that's almost a pancake. Never mind. Too close to pancakes. Okay, so while this is almost cached, so I'm just gonna reiterate Big Bird. Yeah, get that Sesame Street action in here. Okay, so while the rest of that is caching, so once again, I took all the background points. These have calculated my distortion because those are the most infinite points that I can get, like infinitely distanced points that I can get. If you ever wanted to get a good lens value, like let's say you're shooting at 18 mil on your camera, and you're like, oh, I want to get the most perfect distortion value, so I can just type in that value on other shots where the camera barely moves. Shoot a nodal, just have the nodal move somewhat slow, give it a good pan, just give it an auto track as a nodal, and then that distortion value you get should be very, very accurate. If you're gonna do it off a freemove, make sure you do a good walk around some subject. You'll still get a pretty accurate focal length, but it's not as easy as a nodal. So I should have gotten the best distortion I could get off of that nodal. So now we're gonna start doing freemove stuff. And yeah, so I'm just gonna look at this other message in chat, and then we're gonna solve this. So, South, yes, the normalist bird names are Larry, Marquez, and Lassette. I don't know how to pronounce that. Those are bird names, huh? Larry. Larry is a bird name. Oh my god, are you talking about Larry Bird? Like the basketball player? Oh man, Dan. Why you don't use PF Track? Please don't use it. Why I don't use PF Track? I used to use PF Track. PF Track is one of the first software that I learned to track in. It's actually what got me my job at Zoic, and my first job at Zoic. I did a bird geometry track in it, which was actually one button click. It wasn't very impressive. I don't know how I got in. PF Track, I love its node workflow. I love 2-plate stereo tracking. Geometry tracking in it seems to work decently well. Not as good as something like, let's say, Keen Tools nowadays, from what I remember. I love the photogrammetry. I actually really like PF Track, but it's so expensive, and I don't see it worth it. I really like Synthize and what Synthize is offering. So yeah, let's solve this now. Okay, let's do this. So, you know what? Let's pretend that I never want to change my distortion, which I don't intend to. I'm going to keep it as it is. I'm going to go ahead and apply it. Lens workflow, redistorted, okay. Good. And if this is wrong later, fine, we'll take it off and recalculate. So for now, I'm going to start building some stuff out and get to solving. South, no clue who Larry Bird is, but sure. Yeah, Larry Bird is like, I think he's like the first really famous white basketball player. Yeah, he was like the first guy that made us white guys proud. We suck at basketball. I don't suck. Well, okay, I suck at basketball. I'm tall though. I'm like 6'6". There was a point where I was actually able to dunk for a year. But I'm not good at basketball. I'm not aggressive. Not aggressive enough for that sport, but I was decent at shooting. I wasn't bad. I wasn't amazing, but I wasn't bad at it. All right, so let's go ahead and go to lens. Walnut, I got Synthize for the price, but honestly, I would rather have any of the others. Oh, you don't like synthesize? Walnut wouldn't, but honestly wouldn't have any of the others. Render house, awesome, 6.6. All right, I gotta solve this now. Okay, so this is a nodal, and we're going to stop, and we're gonna start doing this as an automatic. So make trackers normal, yes. And no longer far. You should still look to see if your tracker is manually made far. Okay, so I've never had this not fail, but you can select all trackers and see if there's a question mark on far. Because if any of these is on far and you hit Control A to select all, there's a question mark on anything here that shows you. So you can click it and it's cleared far from everything. So now they're all free move tracker. They're all just free trackers again. And let's go ahead and go to coordinates. We're gonna go, lens. We're gonna go to lens and use add line. So we're gonna go ahead and pick whatever, you can work on whatever axis you want. There's no science to this. If I go, let's not use Blender. Blender has backwards world axes. I hate that it's Z up, this silly. So let's go Maya. So really just pick, this is the building. This is my building here. Very, very fancy and impressive. Carter, I got synthesized when I was like 15 and never tried anything else, so I guess I would have the benefit of not knowing what I'm even missing. Not even knowing what I'm missing. Yeah, I've used my first software I learned in Blender. Now I know Blender is terrible, like super, super terrible at tracking. Then I learned PF Track. PF Track is cool. It has really cool features. I just don't think it's as fast. 3D Equalizer, amazing. Really cool features. Powerful distortion, like powerful. But you can't calculate focal length and free moves and all that stuff at the same time, so it's a little bit more of a tedious software to use. I've never used Buju. Yeah. Okay, so when you're looking at the axes lines here, like, there's no science to this. In Synthesize, I'm gonna go Y up. So, you know, Y up here, and I'm gonna go, get out of here. I'm gonna go maybe X facing this way. Enable branching, sure. X, on X, oh, that bug. On X facing this way. So, you know, Y up, X this way, Z this way. You can have it oriented any way you want. So make these lines point any direction that you want it to. So now that I have that, this should be Y. Okay, so now I've got X and Y. The rest of the lines, you don't want to do a third on-axis line. So don't take a Z line. Don't make a third main line. Synthesize doesn't like that. So I'm going to delete that. You can still do your third axis, but it's going to be a parallel line. So, parallel lines. So I'm going to go X, X, and I like this. And if you have like super certain other X lines out in your distance, go ahead. But you know, if you really trust it. Some of these buildings, they look a little bit not so straight. Render house, but what if we have known focal length film back, so Synthesize is best for all? Ow, my ears hurt from these headphones. Goodness. Please, wait, Walnut, please read my previous message. I need you to know that I don't hate synth. No, I did. Wait, your previous message? I did read it, right? Oh, sorry. Oh, I did. When you wrote wouldn't, I got it. But now I see you written. Sorry, I mistyped. I just got Synthesize because it was cheapest, but now that I know more about the softwares, I'd rather have Synthesize than any other super expensive one. Yeah. I got you. And then you reiterated, I love Synthesize. That's pretty great. Okay, so render house. Let me just dot down a couple more lines here and get this orientation, and then I'll answer your question. So I'm gonna put in a Z line. There's not a lot of Z lines here. So this is a very small Z line. It's not very trustworthy, I think. So we're gonna put as many Z lines as we can. The more Z lines that you have, the more that they're gonna average each other out. But sometimes if you put too many, your scene's gonna error out, and that might happen here. Because these short lines, they're gonna intersect in weird ways in the distance. And yeah, you might get weirdness. So I'm gonna hit align, and now if I hit F3, hey, look at that perspective. It's awesome. Something I was actually told on stream a while ago, I think it was Walnut who brought it up, but if you control click align, you get further options. Was it also alt? Alt click that, or just control click? And what if you hit no? Oh, if you keep hitting no, you can get different solutions and stuff. I don't know what difference that makes, honestly. Walnut, oh, okay, never mind. All right, so now that I got an orientation, I am going to build it out, but first let me answer render houses thing. But if we have known focal length, film back, so synthesize is best for all. If you have known data, I said this earlier too, because of lens imperfections, your focal length isn't going to be exact. So if you're 50 mil, expect it to change to like 49 or 51 or something very, very close. But if you don't have those values, synthesize and also any other software will calculate it just fine. Those having the correct film back and focal is really only good for making sure your shots in a sequence are consistent. And also sometimes a shot is like so zoomed in, so little detail that you're like, oh, what focal do I make this? Well, you might as well take your on-set data, take your film back, put in the correct focal, and then just work with that. That's the best information you have. Those are the scenarios where you do need it. Okay, so now with this lineup, let's go model out this building. Oh man, I actually want to do it in Maya. I don't like modeling too much in Synthesize. It's not, like it's alright. You know what, let's just do it in Synthesize. It's fast. Synthesize is okay for shapes like this. So I'm gonna go make a random cube. And these shapes, don't worry too much about, actually I'm pretty happy with that. Render house, gotcha, nice. So don't worry about your shapes going overboard everywhere. These are just going to be stitched off one another. Like now that I have this main building, we're going to take out this this little wall here. So I'm going to go plane. Let's go to this side view. And I'm going to slide this along the wall here. Which way is that? Nope. Nope. Z. So now that I know it's sliding on this wall, I'm going to connect it over to this wall. If you want to move it more finely, hold control. And I might as well move it down. Make it a little bit pretty. Also, you could see that these structures are not super straight. So this might cause a little bit of error, but we'll fix that later. So I'm going to take some of these points. I'm going to take these points. Let's take this wall, project. And here's a little trick. I'm just going to show you this just for the hell of it. But this point, if I project it, you could see that I don't have a ledge out here. But this point, if you come over to trackers, come to the seed point stuff, this is everything that you project. It actually gets stored right here. And this plus and minus is the nudge tool. So if I drag this, you can see I'm moving that seed point in depth from the camera. So I just moved it, slid it into where that ledge would be. So yeah, that's pretty nice. So I have a decent amount of points stuck in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and solve this. So what I'm gonna do, we still have that nodal here, right? I'm actually gonna take all my points and I'm going to revert them back to a weight of 1. I'm gonna go to frame 0 because that's where the keying happens. I'm gonna right click. So they're all weighted 1 again. Walnut, let me read that in a second. So yeah, I'm gonna tell it a couple of initial frames I wanted to start on. I wanted to specifically start the solve on like maybe a frame here and here. So I'm gonna go around here. You don't have to do this. Synthesize will find those automatically, but I always like to just force it to my own frames. So I'm gonna turn on constrain, and I'm gonna hit go. So now that I've hit go, you could see that we have a solve. And what's the error? 1. Error 1. So now that I have this, oh yeah, let me read stuff first now. Walnut, for some reason, I see some of the erroring stuff going on here. This might be the structure might have a weird position, but we'll find out. There might be other weirdness going on with this. But first, let me make this play at normal speed and just let it play while I answer questions. Walnut, for some reason, it hadn't occurred to me until recently to model more complex geo in Cinema 4D rather than placing cubes and synthesize. It's way faster for me. Yeah, do it. Do it. I was thinking about tossing this into Maya and just doing it really fast. But kind of just wanted to do it quickly here. But absolutely, toss your camera into other software. Knock it out of the way. Walnut, also, how will you figure out the depth of that top part of the building? The top part of the building, huh? You don't need to. But if you want to, if you trust your foreground points enough, then you should be able to... I don't like that. I don't like those positions. Also, something is acting really funny here. This should not be erroring this bad. Oh, so it's gonna be one of those kinds of streams, huh? Alright, so let's go zooming, see what happens. That error is still present. I'm gonna go back to fixed unknown, and I'm gonna go more. Let's turn on lens center and see if there's any weirdness going on with the lens. So that did some stuff. I'm gonna go undo my distortion. Lens workflow, undo earlier run. Dan, you're awesome, man. Thank you. What's that thing Metro Man says in Megamind? Wait. I love you, Metro Man, and I love you, Random Citizen. It was something along the lines of that. That's how I feel about you, Dan. You're awesome. Okay, so Walnut, you have distorted applied. Does it matter? Oh, well, there you go. Or there we go. Yeah, I just turned that off, I guess, as you wrote that. Okay, so let's go back to lens. Make sure that those parameters are... My synthesize is freezing. Please don't die. Okay, so our parameters are back on. And I gotta wait for this to cache again. Great. Sorry, that's gonna have to sit in cache now for a moment. While that's caching, let me do a dumb thing in Blender. Wonder if I could do something before this goes away. Control A, X. I want to do that meta thing that I learned. It was kind of fun. I'm gonna go sphere, and I'm gonna make a meta ball. Move it out of the way. And we're gonna go make a hair system. And we're gonna go render as object. Volume. Cache is almost done. And the cache is like a second away. Cool. And you can make it go blobby. That's fun. And my thing's done. All right. Okay, cool. So, render house, iced water. Did I make iced water? Oh wait, my iced water? I have a bad habit of freezing water bottles. It was so hot last summer for me that I was like, okay, I'm sick of having just refrigerated water. So I just started keeping some bottled waters. I started keeping bottles, and then I would freeze them. And then I would put water in it, and I would let it just thaw as I drank it as I go. And I know people talk about particulates, plastic, dissolving into the water. I'm sorry, I don't care about my health. Cool. Dan, I already have PF Track. Should I buy Synthize too? Is it worth having both of them? I think it's worth having 3DE and Synthize, but PF Track, I don't really know how worth it is because I'm not super well versed in its features, like as of, 10 years ago. So I honestly can't tell you if it's amazingly worth it. I don't know. PF Track is pretty powerful, but if you don't have the learning resources for it, it's pretty tough. Something tells me I should have built my perspective off of this angle. But then I kind of lose my lines. I think the Z lines, no. You know what? That horizon line is low. That is a low, low horizon line. Yeah, so I think Desmond, hello. Good to see you. Okay, so that horizon line is low. I think I'm gonna redo my lines here. So I'm gonna go, and unfortunately it's gonna mean I have to line up stuff and reproject. So I'm gonna get a sliver of this here because I think I need this. This line and these two lines were not enough for a good Z depth. So let's go ahead and clear all these. Actually, let's just knock out the big ones. And we'll recycle. Unlike my water bottles, we will recycle these lines. I don't trust this wall. Walnut, I had some alignment issues on the other shot at this location. I think the scene might have a lot of imperfect... Yeah, it totally does. It totally does. I just want to get that horizon line up, and that's about it. Everything else could be crooked. Oh, I made this even shorter. This isn't good. That's fine. We're going to average these out again. Hopefully, this here, right here, is going to be my savior. So we got Z, 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 Z. Gonna get some X back in here. Cool, that X line looks okay. I need to get some Y lines back in here. Come to think of it, I don't remember putting other Y lines in the other version. Did I do that? I thought I did. Okay, so let's see if this does anything. So hopefully we will see this horizon line raise up a little bit. Hopefully. Yes. So the horizon line, you could see, was right here. Now it is up here. Or more reasonable. Not that it's gonna help the solve, honestly. But it's a step. It's a step. So let me quickly take this box. Bring it forward a little bit. I'm just bringing it forward enough so that it gets over here, past that ledge. And let's see, this thing. Line it up to the edge. And we're gonna move it on Z again. And we'll move it down on Y. All right, project those. Project. Cool, I think I projected all the same points. You know what, this one we might just get rid of. Nah, we'll keep it for now. So, let's just go to refine. I think we have the old solve. I don't think it's pulling as much as it did. It might be. My solve error is 0.7 now. Let's go back into zooming. Okay, so something I want to try. Fixed unknown. I'm going to turn constraint off and now hit go. Okay, so here are the points being happier. Wait, is this even solving? Oh, it is. Look, the point's really tiny. So the solve error is at 0.4. These are the points doing what they want to do. I don't want it to do that. I'm going to take this point, which might be the biggest offender, and I'm going to turn off the lock. And you know what? I'm going to turn off this one too. I'm going to project. I'm just going to leave these points that are very close together. I'm just going to leave those on. Whoops, I got to turn on constrain. Go. Looks like garbage. Let's undo, go back here. Constrain on. And we're in refine. Go. There we go. The reason it crapped out is because I did a solve in automatic, which made a brand new solve, and that solve wasn't very happy, so refine didn't make it better. So I undid, went back to the better solve, and then I switched to refine. So what's my error now? 0.7? Eh. Okay, let's see. It's not as bad now. It's like it's... I could swear that's getting better. Something I do kind of want to do is... A point like this way back here is so far away that it wouldn't matter if I just told it was far. So I'm going to make that far, and these points here... Where are they? Oh, that's... See, look at that. That's pretty bad. That might be messing up our solve as well. These points have rippled forward, and they're messing with our camera's depth. So let's see what happens at this one point this far. It didn't do anything. What is that? Okay, so looks like I'm gonna do another thing. So here's the other thing that I'm gonna do now. So I did not scale the scene, so I'm just gonna bring in a random dude. Bring him to the base. Maybe on the step, maybe. Scale him to, I don't know. Let's pretend this is people height right here. And I'm gonna take our people. And I'm gonna shoo him way back here. We're gonna find the depth of one of these buildings. A little further back. Where'd he go? I lost my boy. Oh, there he is. I was in the wrong view. Okay, let's pretend that's reasonable. Just pretend. And now, I'm gonna make a plane. So there is what we're using for the depth. So I'm gonna project this point. So this point that I just projected, look at where it was now. So it's like way up here. That's a little strange. I am going to now hit solve and let's see if any of these points do anything. Well, where's this actually? Let's see. Okay. Ooh, that's not good. Synthesize did not like that. I'm gonna go back to automatic. Let's just see if I can get another solve here. Ew. Carter, are you using a key command to drop onto mesh? Oh, yes I am. Track, drop onto mesh right here. I set a key. It's a key that somebody at Track VFX actually had started us using. It's the tilde key for me. And if you want to set that, you can come up to edit. Whoop. Edit, keyboard map. Select your key that you want. I selected, where is it? I don't feel like looking for it. Whatever the tilde key is, I found it was somewhere there. Might be one of these. Nah, I don't know. You can select your key and then you can find the many functions here, which is drop onto mesh. Josh Foster, just wanted to say thanks for all the synthesized content you put out. I've learned a lot from your videos. Awesome, that's great to hear. Like there's not a lot of mash move stuff out there. I really hope that some of the stuff helps people out. Okay, so let's try and get this point solving. I'm gonna see if I can hit this a couple times and see if maybe some random fuzz values will help me out. Decimate half the frames, because it's kind of a longer shot, I guess. I'm not good with these settings, by the way, so I'm gonna go ahead and clear all this that I did. So yeah, this is the portion where, like I said, it's very casual stream because I don't know what I'm doing. All right. Walnut, I wasn't aware of anything other than the auto button until I discovered you and Matt Merck. Yeah. There was I don't remember if I jumped straight into the auto button when I first launched. Carter, it's fine. I know how to set key commands, just was thinking how often I'd have to go to that menu and how much time I could save. Yeah, drop on the mesh has saved me a lot of time. I use that a lot. Now, why does that point not want to solve? I'm going to drop it right at the edge of frame, and I'm also going to turn off this far point. This far point might be what's screwing me. Nope. I would love for automatic to work. Do I have 1, 2, 1, 2, you know what? Let me drop another point here just so I can get 4 points right here. I'm gonna make this portion solve. Please work. It looks a little weird. Is there a point somewhere that I didn't unconstrain? Let's take all points, unseed, unconstrained, grab a couple of these again. I should take this one. I like that one. Let's not take it yet. Now drop just these. And I don't have anything weird, do I? No, I don't. And go. Why? Dan, you saw that Avatar reel? Was done in 3D. Stereo is chaos. How's your stereo experience? My stereo experience is, one sec. Okay. So, right here. Not here. His claws. Wolverine's claws. So this movie was shot in stereo. Only stereo project I've ever done. And did it in Synthesize. These claws were object tracks. This was, left and right eye camera, and track the same points on both, and solve, and the object should be at the right depth, which it was. So yeah, these claws were pretty easy. They were always at kind of the right depth. It was pretty simple. Stereo solving is not super hard. This shot sucked. This shot really sucked. Yes. So that's kind of movio in Latin. Carter, wouldn't you want to realign before redropping and resolving? So the solve here, I projected and solved off of this alignment, and because the structures are so crooked, if I aligned over here, I can already see this thing curves. You could see the curve here. You could see the curve down here. So I kind of thought about it, but I know that I can actually see the bend here. So I didn't really want to just realign up here, so I just cleared the constraints and I redropped them. I redropped them on this frame just to see what would happen. I thought about it. Oh, you know what? Let me hit save. I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna open up Synthesize 1709. This is my favorite version. Okay, so let's see what Synthesize 1709 does to the shot. Oh, I forgot something. Oh no, we might be good. I might have some bugs in this file because I didn't clear distortion, but yeah. 1709, this version of Synthesize is my primary driver. It solves so much more predictably. It's easy to troubleshoot because it's not randomized. It's not using randomized fuzz values. But new Synthesize, I can turn off the fuzz values as actually Walnut pointed out a while ago. But if the initial solve doesn't work, Synthesize just will give me a crappy solve, but without the solve, or without the fuzz, it won't attempt to give me something different. So it just kind of craps out on me. Okay. Oh no, I scrubbed into the red. So let's hit solve real quick. Ew. Gross. Let's go back to automatic. Yeah, I think I screwed it up. I should have cleared distortion values and before I came over here to do stuff. So that's pretty bad. Let's go turn all this off. Actually, let me just not save. I'm gonna reopen that file, but I'm gonna clear some stuff. So I'm gonna save, reset, save, and now I'm gonna save as version 2. Okay, not saying that'll work, but let's just see. There's a chance that I might have screwed up both of my Synthesize files now, honestly. things get a little buggy and crazy when you start to mix synthesized files. And there's times where I've had to export the trackers and just re-import into a fresh scene. So we'll see if I did that to myself. So, okay, same result. So let's see. Let's start with a left, maybe. Okay, so we got that moving. Our error is 0.7. Cool. So we got the slide still. Good, good. Now this point over here, what did it do? It is back in space at least, so that's a start. This point, I don't know where it was. I don't remember where it was. But let's put a couple more points back here and just watch, see if it ripples forward. And the cache is there. Come on, just go. That cache line is so slow, man. Walnut, I once had synthesize freeze, and while typing randomly trying to figure out what was going on, I deleted everything, closed the project file, losing all my work. Ever since, I have saved iterations on everything. I wish I paid better attention to saving my iterations. I have a pretty crappy memory with weird tasks. You ask my employers how I do clocking into work every day, or clocking tasks. I am so bad at it. Like embarrassingly bad at it. Come on. Come on, Cash, you're so close. All you need is one traumatic experience like that and you're all set. Dude, I've had so many traumatic experiences. Yeah, the crappy thing is that it won't really help me. Like I've got a mild mental thing. I've got FASD, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. Does kind of weird things to my processing skills and memory, or at least my attention to things, attention span. So if it's traumatic, it probably won't stick. I've had a lot of traumatic stuff. Okay, let's go refine. Oh, that's weird. That is very strange. This is a very strange shot. Dan, PF Track is good with stereo stuff. Yeah, I like it for stereo stuff. Dan, what is all the camera information? What could you give me on this? Because there's something weird. There is something weird going on with the shot. Because this should have solved semi-decently even when I had a few constraints. New one has PF depth built in. PF depth, is that the... what is that? I'm gonna turn off all these constraints again. And now that I'm in old synthesize, I'm going to take just these, and let's calculate. I'm also gonna turn off distortion. Take that one. Oh, my error went from 0.8 to 0.5. You can see that I brought this in a little bit. Dan shot on a D5100 kit lens set to 18 mil, so it was a kit lens. Kit lenses are very cheap. I'm not sure if I want to throw the blame at the kit lens yet, but kit lenses are very, very cheap. Like, very cheap. Dan, that info won't matter, I believe. Yeah. It helps a little bit because if it's a kit lens, those are a little scary. So let's take this point back here again. We're gonna make it far. Actually, let's make more of these points far. What's this? Let's make it far. Let's just see what happens if we just start forcing all of these back into far. Where did the other points fly? Oh, they flew so close to the camera. Little animals. This is not a good practice what I'm doing, by the way. I'm just trying to mess around, see what I can break. Oh my God. Okay, something I'm gonna try now is I'm gonna try unleash every parameter that a newer version of Synthesize has. I'm just gonna clear some of the stuff that I did here. Let's get rid of all the far points. And just for reasons, I'm gonna project one more point. Oh wait, what happened here? How did this move forward? Drop those again. Carter, like a siren of old, this shot is designed to lure in sailors with the promise of simplicity, only to reveal once it's too late that it is deeply cursed. Get some tracking folklore. Okay, so we got this back where error is up. You know what? Let's make 1 point far. Oops. Actually, no, I don't want to do it here. I'm going to now close that. Back up to newer Synthesize. Oh, and I gotta wait for it to cache again. Okay, well that's caching. I got bored waiting for it last time. Let's go back to this. Give it a gradient texture. Whoops. Cache? All right. Come on, Cache, go. Dan, how often does LiDAR become useful? Wait, sorry. How often LiDAR comes useful, or you get that info from clients? We get that info from clients, and we don't often get a lot of LiDAR. Depends on how big the client is, because LiDAR is very, very expensive. Hey, my cache is done. Cool. Goodbye, blobby thing, for now. Anyway, LiDAR, if we have it, extremely useful. Like, Dan, if you walked around this and took some pictures for me, I bet you I can get a good solve. And if I couldn't get a good solve off of those photos, something is up with your camera. Something is happening to the shot. Because this is very strange. This should have solved very simply. This is boxy enough, and there is just enough like lack of parallax that this should have solved just fine with this method. You know what? I am going to do something drastic. I'm gonna pick a frame like this. I'm gonna do this kind of fresh. So, gone, gone, gone. How are the people watching this? This is boring. This is frustrating to me. I'm bored sitting here. Alright, I didn't think I was gonna be sitting here messing with this shot for so long. But if something is not right at this point, something is up with this plate. I could just be shooting myself in the foot right now, sitting here, trying to make this work. It might... yeah, there's might be something up with it. So... I'm going to pick a frame like this because I'm going to do everything at once. I'm going to just put the box in here, project. I'm going to scale back some people, project. I'm not going to use far points. All right, one more time. We're at a fresh scene. There's basically nothing here. Actually, first I'm going to Control A, turn off my constraints. There, there's like nothing happened. Walnut, I'm really excited for the photogrammetry set survey stream. I'm definitely trying to start shooting those on set. I'm gonna have fun doing that one. That's gonna be a long stream. I think it's gonna be a long stream. Because I might show 3 ways to utilize that data. So I'm gonna shoot images. I might do the scan quickly on stream. I might do that quickly. Bake the texture. And I might show how to bake the texture in, let's say, PhotoScan, which is what I use. And I might show how to bake it in Maya, get a texture, and I might also show, this is the primary one actually, I'm going to show this above the others, but I'm going to show how to import your survey images, track them quickly, orient them in a space, scale it, and then orient all your other cameras in the same scene. But the scan... I might do that. I might do that one at the end of the stream. Okay, so let me do this real quick. I'm gonna power through this one. I'm so sick of this. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. I have work tomorrow. On X. Parallel to Z. This is crooked, but we're going parallel to Z anyway. Walnut, are textures important for use in synthesized general match move? Textures are very helpful on scans. Yeah, if you have a LiDAR and if it comes with a texture, that is very, very helpful. Because sometimes you have messy scans or like flat walls with details that are hard for you to spot and constrain to, but the texture helps greatly. If you can get a texture on a scan, do it. And if you're doing photo scan, if you have software to do photo scan, it's going to be very easy for you to bake a texture. This is also a very good thing that you can do in 3D Equalizer, and you can also do it in PF Track. You can't do photogrammetry scan stuff in Synthesize. Okay, let's get a Y line over here. This wall I can see now is kind of crooked too. And let's get some X over here. I didn't draw that very straight, but whatever. Let's not do a lot of X lines. Let's just call it here. So I'm gonna go align, F3, take a look, cool. Oh, it still has my orientation from my last solve, nice. So, fast box. Wow, I can't see. Ah. Okay, so I'm going to drop 3 here. You know what? Let's get a 4th here. And this thing over here, I don't know how big this is. We're gonna guess. The goal of this is to see what Synthesize, how it will react if we don't use far points. Which way is which? I think this way. Nope. Now we can use this plane too. Wait. I need to see how big this door is. That door, I'm gonna make the divisions about door height. So 3 faces door height. Window. Three faces door height. I don't really see any doors, but I see a window and I'm imagining a floor here. And maybe there's a door like this size in these floors. So now with that, I actually need to put a point here now. What's wrong with the plate? Oh, Dan, what's wrong with the plate? I don't know. So I'm wondering if your camera lens, the stock lens, is that distorted out of the factory, or if there's an optical sensor shift, which I don't know because new Synthesize. I'll be able to test that here in a bit. Wow. Let's restart this point because I don't know what caused that to go off the rail. So yeah, that's really just my guess is the distortion is weird, or the image stabilization is not properly off, or well, I don't really know what else, because my model here shouldn't have been that bad. Okay, now let's go back to lens, hit at frame so I can get back to my lineup frame. I'm gonna project that. And this one here, let's go make another plane. You know what? I'm gonna duplicate this far plane because I know the 3 squares is door height, and I don't want to do that again. So I'm gonna pretend that this is like a railing thing. I can kind of see window stuff down here. I think that's a window, I don't know. We're gonna pretend this is a railing and, I don't know, human standing there, door height in the background. This is a very crude guess, but it's far enough away that it shouldn't matter too much. Walnut. Let me see that in a moment. Wait. Render, are you in Weta Digital, bro? Am I in Weta Digital? Nope. Why you ask? Do you know something I don't? Okay, so we got this point, these points. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's ugly. Switch to a right movement. Oh, don't give me this. Okay, this is where I have to fail at this shit again. You know what? I don't understand. I gotta reread these. I read through these. I always forget it. I don't know the difference between point fuzz and first path fuzz. It worked. Weird. My error is 0.4. Okay, semi-promising. I'm gonna switch into refine mode. This is kind of promising. Hey. This is kind of promising. Oh my lord. Oh lord. Let me see the messages real quick. I'm gonna just let this play. Walnut, I have a super cheap 18 to 200mm lens. Hey, I did too. That lens sucked. I'm not saying yours does. I'm just saying mine did. Lens which has really weird distortion. I can't get a decent solve without quadratic and quartic, and I still need a bunch of trackers before it can figure it out. This could be a similar situation, I guess. Could be. Walnut, no, Calvin, use the bleep button. Oh my god, I forgot about the f***ing bleep button, man. Oh, my life. Dan, superb. Yeah, I kind of got a result going here, man. I don't like this. I do think that there is something up with this. Let me get rid of a couple points and just play around now. So I'm going to get rid of this point, pick it off. Barely drop the error. Okay, let me try. I'm also gonna go wild. I'm gonna turn all this on. We're gonna go eccentricity. Calc all this, and let's see, F3. Oh. That barely changed the distortion. My biggest theory is that somehow something is stabilizing. I don't know, something's warping the footage. This is probably more of a 3DE kind of a scenario. So if I were doing this in 3DE, I would utilize the nodal. Like, I would track so many points in the background. There and over here as well. I would track so many points back there. And then I would let 3DE calculate, like, with all the parameters that it can. Like 3DE can, like, it can do like corner skews, squishes, squashes, radial, like it does all this crazy stuff. I use 3D when I'm actually doing set survey stuff. I don't do survey data stuff in Synthesize. Or shot survey solves. I do it all in 3D. I'm just trying to think, is there anything off the top of my head that I can do to this that I'm not thinking of before I go? Let's turn on zooming. Our error dropped down to 0.41. That was obviously going to change. Zooming, giving Synthesize freedom to just adjust that focal is always kind of a cheat, a good cheat. This is where I need my boss to like just barge in and come sit on stream and do this. I would love to get him on stream one day. Just let him come here and show me up on a shot. He is really good at iterating stuff and figuring out stuff like this. Like I am really good at deforming stuff, like really good, except that stuff is hard for me to do on stream because it's so much work. But he is really good with calculating stuff like this. Where is that focal length? Yeah, that's weird. This zoom is wrong. There just is not enough point data to calculate that. It's not too bad. Dan, thank you so much. Walnut, I don't have 3DE, but I'm just curious. Wait. Walnut, I'd be curious to see a stream with your 3DE plus Synthesize workflow. Why? Oh wait, let me grow up a couple messages. Renderhouse, why not in Synthesize? The survey shot thing, why not in Synthesize? What if I, hold on, let me launch 3D right now. Um, 3D. So if you go to a, can I not, do I have to load in a shot to look at a lens? Nope. Okay, so 3D. Man, I might actually have to load in a shot just to see this. Hold on. Let me load a shot. Okay, so 3DE. Let's let that cache. I could have just did the cache thing there, I guess. Oh well. Okay, so let me bring my chat back because I moved it. Why not in Synthesize? So why not in Synthesize? Because Synthesize, where's my Synthesize? If I go here to my let's go F3. So Synthesize only has a few degrees of freedom for its distortion. I can't remember what degrees is what, but quadratic, I think this is 2 degrees of distortion right here. But you can only adjust it at once. Now 2 degrees, I think you can adjust your height and width separately. I think. Again, I can't remember what the degrees terms are. So you have cubic, quartic, a little bit of the edges, and then quadratic is kind of the whole lens. Let me undo all this. Lens center, you can shift and get the optical center calculated. That's cool. Distortion eccentricity, here you can kind of fix little imperfections, kind of anamorphic stuff right here. It's not amazing, and you need a lot of movement and Z-roll to get it accurate. Same with some 3D shots. But yeah, so that's all you have for distortion and synthesize. But 3DE, if I go to lens, so here's your distortion degree 2. So you have this, and you can see, here's what you have. You have this stuff, all that. Let's see, you got this Q, all this stuff. You can calculate crazy angles. And this is only a radial lens. If I go to anamorphic, let's see this. Look at all these settings. You got all this anamorphic stuff. Look at this beauty. There is so much that you can do. So when I'm doing survey shots are often shot on weird cameras. Somebody brought in their crappy DSLR, or they shot it on their iPhone. So the lenses are always super weird. So typically, when I bring in survey shots, I'd come into 3DE, File, Import, Multiple Reference Frames, and I can treat every frame as its own lens. So I would have, so this default lens, this 30mm, this contains these distortion values. If you go and make, oh my goodness, add new lens, if I click this new lens, you could see that it has no distortion. I could put different distortion on this lens. If you bring in survey images into 3DE, you can give each frame its own distortion calculation and calc it all together with the same points. Synthesize, if you go shot, import survey shot, you have to load in all your survey images with one lens. You can calculate a zooming distortion, but it's not as flexible. So yeah, if I need perfect set, like perfect model, perfect points, because every other shot in the sequence are going to be lined up, I use 3DE. 3DE is slower, and I don't like 2D tracking in 3DE, and I don't like that you have to calculate focal length separate from your solve, but it is powerful for undistortion, and that is why 3DE is standard. Yeah, I hope that answered your question. Okay, let me go down the list here. Walnut, I'd be curious to see you stream with your 3DE plus synthesize workflow. I could do that another day. I could do that. Render House, me too. Walnut, I don't have 3DE, but I'm just curious. Nice, Dan, thank you so much, man. Thank you, Dan, for providing this footage, and hopefully I didn't do the best job, but there's something up with this shot, man. I don't know what. It might have to do with that lens. Render House, I have a question. Is it okay to add a lot of points at first, then track them all together? I heard many people do. Yeah, you can. The only thing is, careful of vignetting, because if I track a point right here, this white point, and if I just let it play by itself without monitoring it because I put a few others, so when I'm going, see, they already crap out. And that's because, you know, there's a vignette going on here. So be mindful of what you try to track. If you're going to track multiple, like in the center of the footage, there's no vignette going on, so these will likely go for a little while longer. And yeah, see, then the vignette comes in. So I always track one at a time, but if some shots are so clean and so steady, I just spam it with points and I hit play, and I could track 20 points at once. So I do it sometimes. Walnut, I did that on a shot I was talking about with 350 trackers, put like 5 to 10. Okay, let's go past that. Render, oh man, how to get that rolling shutter and much of motion. Wait, oh man, how to get that much rolling shutter and motion blur? Oh, you're talking about the shot that I loaded into 3D. Sorry, I'm just looking at these messages now. I tracked this on stream, and I tracked this to test Blender's rolling shutter, which I failed at. But I got rolling shutter calculations to work in another stream. But this shot, I did track it. It's on stream. You could see it. It's a couple streams ago. I'm not sure. Is it about it's all about movement, right? Oh yeah, parallax can handle 5 to 10 together. Render house, I'm not sure. It's all about movement. Render, I wouldn't have done it if it weren't for such a gradual movement, but since it was easy, yeah. Yeah, oh cool. Okay, cool. So that was a very long answer to why I do survey shots in 3D. I could show that in the future. Yeah. So I don't think I can do much more to the shot. I think something's funny with it. There's probably something I could do. So here's what some people will tell you. If you can't get it to work like 100% everywhere. Also, is this my tracker being stupid? Is the 3D point better? No, it is sliding. If you need certain areas to stick like this, just go to your tracker, go to the first frame, turn the weighting up higher. I'm gonna make it like 5 just to go extreme, and solve. And now this point will have, see the error is like 0.04 because I weighted it so high. So the solve is sticking really strong on this tracker. You can take a couple points in the area that you want to stick, high weight them, make the area stick that you need to. You could just do that if you needed to. There are a lot of shots in the industry that we do just kind of work with the client, ask them, hey, so we're having problems, can we do this? And then they'll tell us yes or no. Yeah. Thank you, Render House. Thank you for the thanks. Oh, okay. Oh, my ears hurt from the headphones. Okay, so had this shot worked a little bit better for me, I would have wanted to have messed around with it in Blender. Oh, I forgot I calculated the lens center. So by the way, if you calculate lens center, like if you cropped your shot in and then translated it to the side because you're like, oh, I framed the shot better, it looks prettier now. You need to calculate with lens center because the lens center, if you move it, Synthesize needs to know for your track to stick. But when you apply distortion, you are going to get a weird shot like this. But that's fine because when you apply, like if you go write distortion maps, get your ST map, your redistort and undistort, bring it into Nuke or whatever software, it will apply your distortion and your reposition back to normal, even though it looks like this. And your resolution is increased so that you're not going to lose quality once your CG is redistorted to your weird plate. That's the nice thing about Synthesize and other software where they increase your resolution, increase your film back, change your focal. It's all done for you. Walnut, despite the various issues with the plate, this was still helpful. I hadn't thought of the trick to project those points in the far background. I'll be honest, I was really surprised that worked. I just know sometimes far trackers don't agree with Synthesize sometimes, and it just craps out the solve. So I was like, okay, well, project trackers is usually much more predictable. Let's just line it up, project only trackers into those far positions. And wow, it kind of gave me the best result. So it's something. So yeah, I'm kind of done here. So if there's any last lingering questions about tracking, throw them at me, because I'm gonna go in like a couple minutes. Yeah, I just did like 3 far tracks on the other shot and had to low weight them. Renderhouse, did you really face rolling shutter shots? Do you mean do I actually face rolling shutter shots? Track VFX live. Hold on, I'm just going. Was this the Blender one? Ah, yes. So rolling shutter. Do you really face rolling shutter shots? I do. But typically we don't really calculate rolling shutter too much at Track VFX, and a lot of studios don't as well. Because it is not, the way that plates are warped with plugins and stuff, it's not a physically accurate way to do rolling shutter, and there are problems with it. But those problems are kind of shot fixed per shot. So I'm gonna start talking to people here, hopefully, and at Track VFX, we're gonna start convincing clients to use our actual shutter value. And in program, Arnold supports it now, kind of recently, a couple years. Redshift can do it, I think. Actually, I don't know if Redshift can do it. Probably. I think it can. Blender can do it. So I did it here. I rendered and I see right here, this is a real rolling shutter, and it put that cone from here over onto the marker, and it gave me like one of the best saws I've ever gotten off of my camera. Yeah, from clients. Yeah, like from clients, Render House. Clients don't usually ask us to do it. Usually we just high weight and we focus wherever their CG is. That's usually all we do. But yeah, like I was just saying, I want to start getting clients into the habit of rendering real rolling shutter. Because what you can do is you can export, actually I might have did it in that stream, let me go back. You can render, oh, I found it. Come on, Calvin, play it. So you see this plane is moving. This is not a physically accurate way to display rolling shutter. This is just SynthEyes giving you the best approximation it can of what rolling shutter would look like. So this plane, we can give this to a client. We could render the image off of this plane, and it would roughly show them what their CG would look like before they hit render with a proper calculated rolling shutter. So that's what I'm hoping to do. So when clients bug us, I'm kind of hoping that we're going to tell them this. Ren, okay, I got it. Nice. All right, so if there is nothing else, I'm kind of sick of looking at my weird Picasso-esque face. All right, so that is it. I'm tired. It's almost 1 p.m. for me. And I want to go to bed. So yeah, that's it. Tomorrow I'm going to stream a survey shot solve. And there's going to be a main camera, and there's going to be a couple images around a set. I'm going to track and show you how to import the images, make sure they're arranged. We're going to calculate that, and then I might model it quickly. I might model it quickly in Maya or Blender. Probably Maya. It's going to be Maya. And then that's going to be used for our shots, and you can shoot any amount of shots you want, and you can line it up to the set. And that's going to give you all your focal and everything. And oh man, I'm tired. You get the idea. Yeah, so that's gonna be tomorrow night. Thank you for the stream. See you then. Awesome. Thank you for stopping by. I need some naps. See you soon, mate. Take care. Awesome. All right. Thank you for chatting. Have a good night. And end screen. Oh, as we turn the music up and irritate anybody who sticks around to watch these graphics. You know what's amazing? People who sit around and just watch, who seem to just leave the stream going on. What are you doing when you sit there? Do you sit and watch the triangles fly? Or are you sitting there watching something on your other screen and you just don't care? I don't know. It's kind of strange seeing some people hanging around for that long. Once I saw 6 people watching the end of the stream, watching this thanks card for like 5 minutes. Those people need to get a life. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean it. So sorry. I gotta stop rambling. I gotta just go. I gotta back away from the computer. But I kind of like having a little bit of lingering time in this card just to, I don't know, look a little bit professional. I don't know how, but whatever. All right, I'm gonna go now. See ya. Thank you for watching.